And welcome everyone to another edition of the Torn Quadcast. Why, yes, we are back. It's the only show on Chicago radio where we discuss sports entertainment, sports, Oxford, and entertainment. Yes, we don't put ourselves in a box. We just spread ourselves all over the table like a set of Legos that everyone just mixed up without looking at the instructions. And now you're trying to figure out how the heck do we put this whole thing together? Well, your hosts, I am Elliott Serrano, Chicago's King of Geeks and the host of the WRMN Morning Show. And my co-host, Mark Allen Fishman of Unshaven Comics. How you doing, Mark?
Good. Slowly losing my office to various pieces of furniture.
I can see. Well, we're going to try to put this whole little disparate Lego set together for you folks and hopefully bring a little bit of sanity to the world of sports entertainment, movies, video games, and comics. So it's been, I think we weren't able to do an episode last week, but here we are again this week. Again, as always, life gets in the way. But also the reality is there wasn't really too much major news to cover until this past week when a whole lot of stuff happened. And, you know, of course, if you're following any of the other wrestling podcasts, you've heard about a lot of things. If you've been watching Raw on Netflix, as well as as we're recording this right now, SmackDown is playing on the USA channel. I don't get USA, so I have no idea what's happening. Although, explain to me why Cody Rhodes is on Raw. I mean, is he supposed to be on SmackDown? Is it? What? What's happening? After having
brand synergy.
I guess if you're having this whole thing, like they're setting up the War Games, you know, Survivor Series War Games on a Raw, to me it would have made more sense. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here. If you saw Raw on Monday, you'll understand where I'm coming from. Or the previous Monday, you'll understand where I'm coming from. All right, so let's jump into things right now. We'll talk about what's going on in WWE. Yes, John Cena's a champ again. The champ is here. Like, but where did he go? I mean, he's been here. He didn't go anywhere. He's been I think he's been under our couches or beds. He's like that. You know, you're like, oh, I thought I lost this $20 bill. There it is. You know.
I mean, I was watching and enjoying him on Peacemaker mainly, which is where I'd like him to remain, even though it's over. That's where the champ was, as far as I know. But now we should call him the Grand Champion, or whatever the moniker is now that the Grand Slam Champion.
Yeah, but not the only Grand Slam champion, mind you.
No, not the only.
Yeah, there have been other Grand Slam champions, but yeah, you're talking about was it the Grand Slam? I don't know.
Could be the Great Grand Slam at his age, maybe.
Slam? Because hold on a second. I mean, yes, the Intercontinental Championship was the only belt that he hadn't won in his entire career, which, when you ask me, makes absolutely no sense.
I mean, you'd have to go back to the lineage. And by the way, for those uninitiated, John Cena beat Dominic Mysterio for the IC title. This came as a surprise amidst the Last Time Is Now tournament, which we're going to discuss in a minute. But yeah, I mean, if you go back through the history of John Cena, my working theory is this. He was a SmackDown talent for a large portion of his career and held the United States Championship, which was their Intercontinental belt at the time. And I think because of that, he had done his stint as the working man title. He had earned all the other belts. Though I'd be remiss to say I didn't go back and say, does the Grand Slam champion include some kind of tag team run? Because I don't recall him being in a tag team.
I don't think it does. I think it just means you win World Championship, U.S. title, Intercontinental title, and I think that's it. Because the Miz has done it twice. He's a 2-time Grand Slam champion, which I mean, I give Miz credit up to, all the credit in the world. The guy's still around. I mean, and he can lace up the boots, go in there, work with pretty much anybody. But I mean, yeah, and mind you, he has also won has won tag teams. So
Miz definitely has.
Yeah.
And I can think of a couple that he's been in, but yeah, Cena has always been a single star. And yeah, for whatever reason, he didn't win it before. He's won it now. I think, as we talked about it before, speculatively prior, it's a fine move. I don't know if during his last match, does he drop that title to whomever he's fighting? Should they win? Will he just abandon it? Should he win his last match anyway? It's hard to tell. But I think what this actually does is it frees Dominic Mysterio up for a potential run up the card, even just to dip the toe in the water, because that seems to be the underlying thought right now, is that his star continues to rise, and WWE is known to test the waters with these young talent to see could they hang in the main event. So get him off the IC title belt. Now you could start having conversations where he could be nipping at the heels of, I assume, Cody, because he's on SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, the historically, and this is again old school historically. The Intercontinental Champion was always like the number one contender for the WWF title back at the time. And the U.S. Championship is an old thing from the WCW days. Wait, hold on just a second. I need to pause just for a minute. Give me just a minute here. It was historically a WCW title. So that when you had McMahon buy all of WCW, they inherited that, and then it became part of the whole, I guess, the culture, the mythos, the heritage.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell because, yeah, I mean, he effectively purchased WCW, made the brand split more prominent. Well, I guess the brand split came after that, and essentially dumped the WCW belts over to Raw, because that's where the big gold belt went. And then it became the Raw Championship, or the Heavyweight Championship, whatever you want to call it. The U.S. title went over there to act as the Intercontinental equivalent on that brand. And they've both dealt with light heavyweight, cruiserweight belts that no one cares about in the WWE. But yeah, I mean, so now Cena's got the Intercontinental. He'll hold it effectively till the end of this tournament, unless they have another somebody happen to. But I mean, he's only got so many appearances left, so I think we're really kind of aiming down to the back end of this thing. I'm very curious what they'll do with that belt. Unless I think at the upcoming, whatever the next, either there's a pay-per-view or something coming up, I think he's facing Mysterio.
He is facing him in San Diego. Yeah, he's facing him. At the.
So maybe this is like just a quick hot swap so that he gets the legacy of having all the belts, and Dominic will just take the belt back, and we'll go right back to where we were.
Right. Yeah. It all smells of pivoting like mad. I mean, pivoting, pivot here, pivot there. Let's put, let's start doing something with Dominic Mysterio at the end, right there, a last gas. Let's have like our top heel, our top. I mean, I'm saying that, but did we ever think that Dominic Mysterio would be the biggest heel in WWE? I'm saying bigger than Seth Rollins, bigger than, Brock Lesnar, because, Seth gets some hate, but not that much. And the crowd tends to turn for him anyway. And Brock Lesnar supposed to be a monster heel, and people love him. He can beat up anybody. He can beat up your mom, and you'd still be cheering for him.
Some people would. I don't think I would, but yeah.
Well, not you, but yeah, because you love your mother. But I think the WWE fans, and for the most part, are a self-loathing kind.
Two things you should know about me: I love my mother, and I don't love Brock Lesnar, and they don't really, they don't overlap.
Same,
but yeah.
Same. But again, yeah. Well, let's not go down. We've gone down that path before.
We have, but who would have thought? Nobody. But I also think that Dominic Mysterio, we've said it before, like he has put in the work and showcases that he is a wholly different wrestler than his father. And once he got to break free from that shadow by doing this dirty Dom thing, which for lack of, yes, they filtered in and piped in some booze and stuff. And I think they do that now because he's hated, but not hated.
No,
Like,
people. Wasn't it the last? Even at the last, was it the last Raw when he was saying, "Hey, shut up, let me talk"? People were still going, "Hey!" It seemed not so much that they were booing him or jeering him, but cheering him.
yeah,
It's like, yeah, Dom, yeah. Like, oh no, wait, this is our bad guy. We need to make it sound like people hate him still.
right. So I mean, look, have your cake and eat it too, Dom. It's great. I'm pleased as punch for the guy, and I think it leads to the next story, honestly, about the last time is now tournament, which when we started talking about this 2 weeks ago, we didn't even know who was in it. And now we've actually got some things to report on it. So for those not in the know, let me catch you up. Wrestlers who have advanced to the quarterfinals include Rusev, Sheamus, who is now sadly out due to a real life injury, and tune into Raw on Monday to find out what happens to that spot. Main event: Jey Uso, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Gunther. They have all advanced. Um, Upcoming matches, I believe tonight on SmackDown, include Carmelo Hayes versus Bronson Reed and Penta versus Finn Balor. That is your total bracket, by the way. Uh, Cena also hinted that people from other companies would be making an appearance, and we got both of those already, and nothing happened from it. Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder, came out and lost, and Nick Nemeth, coming out as Dolph Ziggler, came out and lost. So two perennial jobbers did the perennial job that they're known for. Congratulations.
But hopefully they got a nice paycheck out of the whole thing.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think even Zack Ryder on his podcast was saying that there was some limited, Matt Cardona was saying there was some limited Zack Ryder merchandise for sale on the WWE shop, which my guess is he gets a nice little chunk of the profit, the profits that comes from that.
No doubt.
So good for them. Good for them come in. I would have liked to have seen Dolph Ziggler go a little further. The moment he showed up, I'm going, yeah, he's gonna, as Dolph says, he's gonna go in, he's gonna put over anybody and make them look like a champ. And Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth himself just did it again. It was nice. Who was it that went up against Gunther? He was an NXT kid. My God, that was an incredible match. I'm gonna tell you, I was not expecting that kind of a match. I was expecting kind of a squash. Having Gunther come out and just squash this NXT kid. No, it was. I mean,
He defeated Javon Evans.
Javon Evans. That was, and first Javon Evans did not look slight next to Gunther. I mean, a lot of times when you go up against him, you look pretty slight. He was like almost the same height. Gunther has trimmed down a bit. He doesn't look as massive as he has. And like somebody explained to me why he's coming out now in like the boxer bathrobe deal now instead of the cool general coat that he had before.
I think while he was home, he must have got the two mixed up in his coat closet when he left.
Or maybe he just doesn't want to look like a Nazi. He doesn't want to look like an Indiana Jones villain because right now people aren't very crazy about them.
Yeah, I mean, it's not wrestlers evolve, and I'm more than happy to see him do that. I'm not necessarily a big fan of the look, but I could care less about some of his entrance attire. Gunther, Walter, whatever you'd like to call him, is most entertaining bell to bell. He can talk.
Yeah. Well, they changed his music too.
Yeah. Well,
they did a lot of tweaking to it. I'm like, this is weird, but all right, fine.
There were rumors when he would come back from his injury that there would be some kind of edit to him because it's time maybe for an ascension. I think we talked about it previously. Gunther is heavily favored among the rumor knuckle draggers that he's going to be the one to win this tournament. But like, if we look at that whole spread, this is just me speculating. I think Carmelo Hayes is going to beat Bronson Reed. He has more. Bronson Reed's got business elsewhere. He doesn't have to necessarily worry about being in this tournament. And Penta versus Finn Balor, flip a coin. One of them will win, and then they're going to lose their next match.
I'm gonna disagree with you on the Bronson Reed thing. I'm gonna say he wins that one. As much as I like Carmelo Hayes, they don't know what the hell to do with him. Just like they don't know what to do with Street Profits.
Montez Ford.
Montez Ford. I mean, Montez Ford is a talent that should. Why he's not an IC champion? Why he's not a US champion? Why he's not a freaking WWE champion is beyond me.
Yeah, they're going to waste him and to a lesser degree his tag team partner, but the grass is always greener depending on where they're at in their contract. And again, like, you could take it or leave it on both, and I don't disagree with you that Carmelo Hayes is somebody who should be on the main event, which is why I'm hopeful that a win, even just one win in this tournament, could set him up for some kind of story somewhere. It's hard to say.
Yes, I agree with you on that. The more and more I look at it, the more and more it seems like Triple H and WWE creative are falling back into the old Vince McMahon booking. It's just, I mean, and look at what's happening right now with everything. It's just, and well, we'll get back to that. But I think it's time for Penta finally, unless you just, again, you want to squander him again. It started out hot. And I mean, really, Penta should have been at least IC champion for a bit.
There's so many shoulda, woulda, coulda, and the fact that Ray Fenix is also there, and they haven't united them. They haven't done anything with either of them. They just exist. They went from the AEW mid card straight on to the WWE mid card. I mean, more power to them. They'll make more money, though. I don't want to cite us too far, but I will say I heard a really cool tidbit about AEW pay versus WWE. When you are a talent at AEW, you do not pay for your rental cars or your hotel.
That's the way it used to be, WWE, and then they started.
Never.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Depending on who you were, some contracts were like that.
Some contract,
but not. Yeah, you're right. In regular, yeah, you're right. You're right, because I remember that's why you'd have Mick Foley and Owen Hart, sharing hotels because
right, yeah. I mean, most of them would, but yeah, Tony Khan takes care of everybody on his roster, so when they are traveling, their travel expenses are already pre-baked into their contract, which I thought was kind of cool. But back to the wrestlers in this tournament. I'm looking at the spread, and I keep asking the bigger question in my mind: who here has enough juice with John Cena that we're going to get something special as a last match? He's got a little bit of history with Rusev to a degree. Jey Uso, not really. LA Knight, the only story you can tell there is old man hopes for one last dying thing. Solo Sikoa, there's no story there, and I don't want one. Gunther, it's part of the whole world beater march back to a world heavyweight championship. And whether it was Bronson Reed, Carmelo Hayes, Penta, or Finn Balor, none of them have any real history with John Cena. I would say Carmelo Hayes, Bronson Reed, and Penta all have that little spark where John Cena's like, I hope whoever faces me in my final match takes advantage of it the way that I took advantage of my first match with Kurt Angle. And like, they use this as a springboard to now do something important. Any of those three guys, absolutely. But I don't know. If I put money down and knew I was going to lose the bet, I want Rusev to do it because I think he deserves better. And he's also gone straight back to the mid card where he left, I would love to see him get that chance out of everybody here. With full offense directed at Jey Uso and LA Knight and Solo Sikoa, who I just can't seem to find any love for any reason.
I mean, Cena's already put over Sikoa. Remember, Sikoa was squashed in that one time, and it accounted for him being out of the ring for 6 months while he made a movie or whatever.
Right.
So I mean, he's done his bit for Solo Sikoa. I think it is the thing that kills me right now. It's like this is I want to appreciate this, and I know John Cena went on record as saying why he wanted. It was his idea to do this. He wanted them to bring up, all these talents and the like. That was him saying, let's do this. But man, did they botch it so bad.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Like, do you know that you can't even go to WWE.com and get brackets? Because I went looking, it's a little thing, but it does matter to see the board and to be able to understand like who's in it and why.
I think it's because they don't know. I think they're making it up on the fly, right there.
They really are. And it's pathetic.
I mean, yes, I know they're, but this is probably they got thrown a curve. It happens at the last minute, but I mean, come on. You have the world's greatest AI computers doing your graphic design for you now at WWE. You're telling me that your AI can't create a Final Four style, bracket that you put little pictures on? Seriously?
Yeah, and the whole tournament it was mismanaged from the start, and it's sad to see it go out like this, but Cena will make the most of it. That guy can make a meal out of an appetizer in build-ups to matches and stuff. So I'll give him the credit where it's due, and we'll see where they take it from here. I think all that matters, honestly, aside from the last match being good, is that they don't squander it the next day. Like, it's the last match is on a Saturday night main event. So if that star is a Raw star, they better be first segment out. If they're SmackDown, first segment. They need to come out, establish that I beat the great John Cena, unless he lost, and like I know could happen. But seriously, come out, own it, use it, do something with it. Have continuity, please.
I mean, it seems to me they're Spielberging this one. They just want to make it the big happy ending. They're not going to do the French ending that we were all expecting. The Denis Villeneuve ending where things are vague and such. Well, let's take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about what's going on in WWE. I see you have a little one back there. Hello. Ask her what she thinks about the tournament.
Hey, Mara, who do you want to win in a tournament against John Cena? You want Bluey to win?
Yeah.
Okay, Bluey. We want Bluey to win.
I'm all over that. I say let Bluey win.
AJ, who do you want to beat John Cena? Okay, we got to vote for CM Punk.
All right, well, we've got that too. All right. WRMN Radio and the WRMN Radio YouTube page. We'll be back in just a few. And we're back. This is the Torn Quadcast, the only show in Chicago radio where we talk about sports entertainment, sports, Oxford, and entertainment. No, Elliott, there are a lot of other shows that talk about professional wrestling and sports entertainment. I know. I didn't say that we were the only ones that did that. I said we're the only ones that talk about a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, if you've tuned into previous episodes of the Torn Quadcast, sometimes we really haven't talked about wrestling at all. We've reviewed the Superman movie and the Fantastic Four movie. We've talked about the series finale of Peacemaker, which both Mark and I really regret that it came to an end the way it did. And I'm just a huge John Cena fan now because of Peacemaker and want to see more of him in that role. And it probably won't happen until, again, the movies, but, that's going on. And John Cena is out there doing the Last Time Is Now tour, kind of like seeing off, everybody, how it's like the whole give him his flowers, appreciate him now. John Cena insists that this is it. He's not going to do like a lot of other wrestlers who say, yeah, I've retired, I'm done. And then they do, they come back for another match or one more match.
Now there is a difference between those wrestlers that have done that and John Cena. Those wrestlers haven't made Hollywood money.
This is true. But also John Cena, because he was on the Raw wrap-up this week and was talking, they were talking to him about, wow, you're having some pretty good matches. And he goes, why don't you think you have like another year or so in you? And he goes, no, because my body right now, it's like, he goes, I would love to stay forever. I would love to go on infinitely, but he's already acknowledging what his body is going through. He knows it's slowing him down. There's a lot. And that body type that he has, of being that huge guy, I can only imagine what it does to his joints and his back and all that. So,
look at Dave Bautista as a prime example. That guy at one point was carrying 350.
Yep.
And now he, I think, maybe is
2 something. Yeah, he has slimmed down big time. He has slimmed
down to the point that he had to dissuade fears that he was sick.
Yes, right.
No, I'm not sick. I'm just healthy and no longer needing to look like a roid monster.
Yep. And even John Cena, as big as he is now, you look at those pictures and images of him from his early days. He was talking about when he did that movie Trainwreck with Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
And he goes, I was huge. And I was like, holy crap, he was huge. I mean, he's still kind of big now, but then he was like swollen. Like, talk about swole, literally swole.
We tend to forget that like wrestlers are infinitely larger than most Hollywood actors, even the buff ones.
Yes.
Your perennial action stars of the day, Tom Cruise is a tiny man.
Yes.
Sylvester Stallone, big enough. Schwarzenegger, clearly, but your Bruce Willis's and others, and definitely your modern day Keanu Reeves is not a large man by any estimation,
but he's tall.
Yeah, lanky,
wiry.
Bob Odenkirk, my favorite action star.
We'll talk about that, by the way. We'll do that in the bonus coverage here on the Dark Turn podcast. I finally saw Nobody 2, and I talked about it on my Facebook page, and you took exception to my review. So we will discuss that in bonus coverage. Right now we are talking about the WWE and what's been going on. We talked about in the last segment, kind of our. You know what? I'm going to tell you, they're flubbing it, they're blowing it, and I'm sorry. I have a tremendous ton of respect for John Cena. This is going the way he wants it to go. Hey, buddy, if that's what you want, then by all means, it have what you want. And the world will go on. The other issue, I'm going down our rundown here, is apparently Cody Rhodes has finally come out as not MAGA.
No. Yes, he would like everybody to know his personal politics, something that he has tried in vain to not cover. He's tried to be an apolitical public figure, and I guess he was on who knows what podcast this past week, and it came up, and he was like, okay, let me just set this all straight. So he had made a tweet on January 6th of a gif of himself in the middle of the ring motioning like, come get some. And this was misinterpreted by folks as being a pro January 6th MAGA thing, to which he pointed out, embarrassingly, no, he was trying to promote some game show on the same network as SmackDown, whatever it was called.
That's why you have somebody do your social media for you.
Right.
That way you don't post things at the wrong time, on the wrong date, and stuff like that. Yes.
Yeah. So he said that fans kind of have these Reddit threads where they go, man, the neck tattoo, I swear I saw him wear a Trump hat and he posted this. He's clearly one of us. The nice suits and the return to civility. And he laid it out very straight and simple. He goes, my family, the Rhodes family, we're liberal. We're moderates. I'm a moderate. I don't feel like I have a voice politically in the current climate. If you want my thoughts, raw thoughts, there they are. And that's it. Leave me alone. And I thought that short, sweet, simple.
And smart, because I'm going to tell you right now that you want to lose money, come out as MAGA. I'm sorry. You want to lose money. People go, no, man, if you're MAGA, man, they'll boycott you if you're not, man. We don't like, we're going to own the liberals and make them cry tears. Look, it's a very loud minority, and it doesn't sell the way you think it does. And look at what's happened to Target after they decided to bend the knee on DEI, which they didn't need to, and yet they did. And now they're struggling, as are many other companies that bend the knee. It's a Game of Thrones reference for folks who still remember that. And I'm saying, you want to lose money, be MAGA. Go on ahead.
Unless you are below a D-list celebrity, glomming onto MAGA will increase your net worth by at least 4 or 5 CDs purchased at the gas station, if you ask Ted Nugent.
Yep.
The handful: Rob Schneider, Kevin Sorbo, Dean Cain. These are some great E-listers elevated to D- simply for their affiliation.
I'd rather do a sex tape.
And
you'd get the same result. You'd get the same elevation at that point.
So. If I were a meaner person, I would just want someone to point out that Kevin Sorbo hasn't acted professionally in 2 decades, and not for lack of trying.
I don't even think that when he was acting, that was really acting.
No, the best thing to come out of Hercules was Cena.
Yep, pretty much.
So
and Lucy Lawless has told Kevin Sorbo, "Quiet, piggy."
Oh my god. I'm gonna switch gears on this one to say this is a quick story. It's a non-story if you've been following the WWE. So say his name and he appears. The WWE believes in Joe Hendry. He has officially signed a contract with the WWE. He has officially left TNA Wrestling or Impact or whatever they're called. And I believe he's going to start over in NXT. If they don't strap the rocket on him post haste, it's just another waste of time. But yeah, man, get in line. I don't know much about Joe Hendry other than to say that I've watched a couple of his matches. I saw what he did with Randy Orton at WrestleMania. I thought it was fine. I thought he's fine. Nothing about him between the ropes makes me excited. It's all the stuff around it. His personality, this weird gimmick thing is great. And apparently he writes like little music videos for the people when he's feuding with them.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Sure. Worked well on the indies. Will it work on a bigger stage? We'll see.
Hey, Doink made a meal of that entrance for forever. So,
Doink, I would actually point, if I'm going to go for a more modern, this to me is the equivalent of Matt Hardy when he returned with the deleted gimmick.
Yeah, I never got that.
That's just the thing. Like, he got it over on the indies. If you translate that over to the main roster, are people going to get the same appeal? It's iffy. Flip a coin. But he's a big dude. He can handle himself in the ring. So let he and LA Knight form a tag team called Clap Clap Yeah.
I like that.
Again, WWE can steal all of these.
Where's Ricky Starks? Has he been doing anything since that big entrance and that whole thing?
Ricky Saints now.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. If
I thought I heard rumor he might have got injured, or if he's not injured, he's somewhere in some belt scene in NXT. But again, could you point to that and say, man, what a great jump over? My personal favorite wrestler and hero and savior, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, has pointed out that some people were like, oh man, you gonna, when you're done filming all your movies, you're gonna leave AEW for WWE. And he sort of laughed it off and said, if you look at any of my friends who made that jump, you will find that their station in life has not changed. The venues got bigger, the paychecks didn't.
No, depending on the paychecks, yeah. I mean, the quote unquote opportunities are there. But I remember just maybe a month ago, I was singing the praises of WWE Creative and how great they were doing all this stuff with the John Cena run, and it's like all of a sudden everyone just dropped every ball, or maybe it's because everyone's getting hurt, or they're thinking, we need to pivot again. Pivot. Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense right now.
I have a beautiful theory. Watch me create the bridge. I'm going to build it as I go. Maybe it could be that fewer fans are able to attend the live events. And the brand itself is presenting itself with a little too much clout. Like, you got to have a serious bank account to enjoy my product. Therefore, the product must be vastly superior. Like how Grey Poupon is a superior mustard.
Can we need it next episode? We're gonna do a bit where you hand me a Grey Poupon.
Right.
Like from here. No, you gotta go the other way.
Well, let's see. We're flipped on my screen. You're this way.
Oh, okay. All right.
We'll figure it out. Or we can you and I can do a Trash Panda review of Viennetta.
Oh yes, that was decadence.
Never wealthy enough to own one of those, but
but
yeah.
But I know I want to get into. I know we're trying to segue into this whole thing about the prices, but let me get into the bit here about how WWE makes no sense to me.
Sure.
Is everybody in division now? Okay. Logan Paul is here. Is it? Okay. Wait. Oh no. Let's bring in Drew McIntyre. They've become like the Thunderbolts or the new Avengers. Everyone gets a membership. Let's bring everyone in. Let's bring all the bad guys in. Let's do that. It's like, what?
Yeah, don't know. That's just the thing. The Judgment Day is still a thing,
and they do nothing. I mean, they have no belts anymore, right? And
they're setting up this War Games match right now, right? And I think we're supposed to care. And I'm looking at the team, the good guy team, which is CM Punk and Jey Uso and Roman Reigns and LA Knight, maybe.
And Cody Rhodes. Why?
And I'm just looking like it just feels like you're just grabbing a handful of the good guy action figures and being like, now you're the Avengers.
And again, why is Cody Rhodes on Raw? Why? Okay, you know what would have made the most sense? John Cena. John Cena should have been making the run-ins. It's still his last fight. It's his last. I'm getting together with all the guys again, and we're one last. It's like, again, we're getting the band back together, putting the Justice League together. We're doing that, and it's like
that would have been a marketable idea, no doubt.
But you know what? Here's the problem. I'm not going to see Survivor Series because it's on freaking ESPN. I don't have ESPN.
Nope. And I bet you're not going to the Elimination Chamber.
No, I'm not going to go because who? Okay, the prices for the events right now I see this, again in the rundown here, the prices say, but I was looking at someone posted on Facebook how much tickets in general are costing. So if you want to take like your kid to a WWE event, it's just getting ridiculously out of hand. It's just
absolutely.
Like it's like a trip to Disney World. It's like 2 mortgage payments. It's just, I mean, it's like, yeah, and they have this attitude right now that, well, if people will pay it, then we can charge it. I mean, they're talking about mentioning Disney World. They're talking about introducing dynamic pricing at Disney World.
Yeah.
For folks who aren't aware what dynamic pricing means, it's that they have like a little computer like tracking demand. So like, let's say it's a day when a lot of people are showing up at the park that day, then your computer automatically boom, 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 ups the prices of admission, right? Literally it could be from minute to minute or hour to hour or minute to minute. So like a price, a ticket to Disney World costs so much at 9:00, but because of a sudden rush, and if you haven't bought your ticket in advance, boom, it goes up. So, how many bucks in an hour, and they'll say it's because, again, they have to use price controls to deal with the number of people who are in the park, right? At the same time, it just smacks. I mean, I'm just saying, just limit the number of people who can be in there. I mean, if that's what it is, if she's saying it's we want to control, just say, hey, we're sold out for the day, sorry, or buy your tickets in advance, plan it out.
Everything is turned into a profit center. The further we push ourselves out, society, I mean, it's happening everywhere. Those who follow like the political stuff that goes on in our country this week, the Secretary of Transportation released this. I truly thought it was a parody video, that this is like a Madman style 50s retro mod, like, hey guys, let's all go to the airport and let's treat it with respect. Start wearing nicer clothes and start saying please and thank you and helping people. Stop being the trash people that you are. Like a whole commercial about this. And somebody points out, they're like, oh, well, do you want to know why people show up at the airport in sweatpants and Crocs and not 3-piece suits? Because flights used to have like seats that didn't squish you in, and they would serve you an actual edible meal instead of giving you a, 2 half broken Biscoff cookies and what looks like coffee but should not ever be classified as such. So maybe there's and by the way, have you ever tried to buy a bottle of water in an airport? I had to apply for a FAFSA just to get one, and they told me my credit wouldn't work. So
because they won't let you bring it into the freaking airline. I mean, to the gate. You can get that exact same bottle of water at the gift shop right outside the gate where you're going to be sitting there waiting for the plane. Yeah. It's just
and it's like this whole thing it trickles down to everything. Like everybody's feeling it. But in case you were wondering, Elimination Chamber, that's going to be at Chicago's United Center. The front row center seat, which is the most expensive, and we're not talking any packages. I'm just talking a ticket for the chair you will sit in, and you don't get to take the chair home. It's $32,500.
That's
more money than a brand new car for ostensibly 4 hours of entertainment.
Yeah, and again, that's it. They're killing their brand. They're killing the fan base. You're gonna have a lot of kids that they're not gonna know what it's like to watch these matches. They're not gonna know what it's like to go to a WWE event. After a while, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember when I was doing that when I was a kid. But hey, I never understood the story of the goose that laid the golden egg. I go, the farmer had a goose that laid a golden egg every day, and he was like oh yeah, but man, I mean, this goose must have a ton of gold in him, so I'm just gonna chop them open and get all the gold out and found out that there was nothing in there. I said, that's the greed, and the greed of wanting it all now kills you in the long term, and that's gonna be what happens to WWE. And hey, the only ones I feel bad for in this whole thing is the talent. The talent who, as things start dipping, and they will, this big golden age that Triple H constantly talks about, the hot crowds and how this is the greatest thing ever, and we're in this awesome age. That's gonna start dying. It's gonna start fizzling out, and then they're gonna be fighting to get those fans back. Yeah,
we are on the doorstep of a generation of talent that will be wholly wasted. And this is not exactly if we recall, you and I are of a certain age that we would remember, between the rock and roll wrestling era and the attitude era, there was a whole slop in between where wrestling was not in vogue. This is also the time when Bret Hart was champion, when Owen Hart was coming up the ranks, Shawn Michaels was starting to get some spots. Some of the best wrestling ever, but you're talking a handful, and I mean 6 to 7 wrestlers that were getting these opportunities. I'm off the top of my head, there's probably 18 wrestlers in WWE that may not get the career they deserve because WWE is going to shoot themselves in the foot between this, going to Riyadh for the Royal Rumble and a WrestleMania the year after. There's no sign of it stopping. So.
All right. We got to jump off the stick right now, but we will stay on the YouTube for bonus content. So if you're listening on the broadcast signal, thank you so much for joining us. Mark and I will be back hopefully again next week to talk about what happens with the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament. But when we come back, we have a couple more loose ends on the WWE and the AEW side that we'll discuss. Plus, we're going to talk about Nobody 2, the sequel that some love, some hate. I'm going to throw some hands on this one, like Bob Odenkirk.
Let me get my watcher on my wrist.
We'll be right back. And that's our last break. Now that we are in the bonus round here on YouTube, don't need to do any more of those. And so thank you so much if you've decided to hang out with us for just a little bit longer. This is the Torn Quadcast with your hosts, Elliott Serrano and Mark Allen Fishman. We're a couple of nerds, a couple of geeks, comic creators who also love video games, toys. I don't know if you can see from me, all this stuff here, my background, for those who are watching on the YouTube. And, of course, professional wrestling. Although we are bidding, and I think I'm getting to the point now. Oh, well, I've talked about this in previous episodes. I'm going to start really supporting more of the locals, the indies. Check out the great shows that are happening locally. If you are a professional wrestler right now, it's a hustle. You've got to hustle. You're doing, you're making your appearances. Folks, if you've never been to an indie show, trust me, you're talking about talent that's doing it because they love it. And, people who put these shows together do it because they love it. And if you go, hey, be so kind as to make sure you go to that talent's table if they're there afterwards. If they got merchandise, they got T-shirts, photographs, stuff like that. Support them. A lot of times they're not even getting much of a gate. Some of these talent are not getting any of the gate because there's not enough money to pay, like say rental of the facility and all that. So they just can they make their night by selling merch. So uh, be so kind as to and help them out by doing that and show that you're a real fan. Oh boy. Okay, let me go back into the rundown that you wrote. AEW. Let's jump into AEW. Um, Full Gear. Now again, I'll admit I have not. I mean, and I it's going to be the same for WWE. Now that WWE has decided to go with the full pay mode on their pay per views, I'm pretty much done at this point. I if I want to know what happens, I'll catch the recaps on YouTube. That was the one thing that kept me from watching AEW pay per views
Yeah,
because
it's
of
expensive.
that model. It is quite expensive. And these days, I remember in the day where it's like, remember when WWE they charge like the 30, so 40, 49 for Survivor Series or whatever. But when it came to WrestleMania, that one was 59. They
Yeah,
always have to, yeah, they did that whole thing. There was kind of like that pricing for each event. But now, and it just occurred to me now with WWE, does that mean that they're going to charge twice as much for 2 night events?
I
Like, if
don't
I
know. I don't want to know. And it used to be back in the day, like late Attitude Era, cheat code was to go to Hooters. You could see the pay per view for the price of some not so great wings.
I would go to Lisa Varen's Squared Circle restaurant. I remember going there a couple times, but man, everybody went there for the pay per
That
views.
there's a
Yeah,
difference for that for sure. But yeah, I mean, pay per views are expensive. It's kind of ridiculous. And admittedly, I'm an AEW fan. I have never purchased an AEW pay per view. I watched the 2 or 3 that I got early into their tenure when it came with the HBO Max, which man, I wish they would do again. But hey, I get it. It's a different business model, and I support them simply by doing what I do, which is watch the television shows. I watch the Wednesday night show and the Saturday show, and that's good enough for me.
and there is a disconnect, a serious disconnect with the whole idea that, let's face it, people ain't got no money now for that kind of thing. We ain't got no money now. If you want to go after the people who have the money, then fine, but that's only going to last for so long.
It's
So
very true.
yeah,
But in any event, they have a pay per view coming up this Saturday. I figured I'd just
Full
run down.
Gear.
Yeah, we. Uh, that being said, much love to them. Last week they did Blood and Guts, which was a themed episode of Dynamite where it's sort of like every match is some kind of hardcore ish match. And it was pay per view quality on cable TV. I thought that was pretty cool of them. But anyway, this is our next pay per view. My big prediction for the whole thing is no titles are changing hands. It doesn't feel like they've set anything up for that matter. But here we go. And whoever put these in order, bad order, but we're just going to go through it. Hangman Adam Page, the champion, is facing Samoa Joe in a steel cage match for the AEW World Championship. He already beat Samoa Joe. He's going to beat him again. Samoa Joe is here to get the young talent over. Good for him. It'll be a fine match. Any thoughts?
Hmm.
Okay.
Just Samoa Joe still wrestling?
Sure is. Looks good. Next up, human crash test dummy Darby Allin is facing Pac, who is he used to be in WWE as Neville, and
The man that gravity forgot.
yes, he's just known as Pac, which is he was named on the Indies too. This will be an actually decent match because they both will just absolutely beat the snot out of each other. So good for them. I don't have a prediction other than it will be terrible for one of them. I'll guess Pac wins because he needs a win more than Darby Allin does. Uh, Casino Gauntlet match is up after that for the inaugural AEW National Championship because they don't have enough belts. The interesting story to this one is the first two competitors are Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley, who are on the same team. The way these casino gauntlet matches go, it's like a reverse Royal Rumble in that two men go in and the match immediately starts. And every minute or so, new competitors enter in, and it's whoever gets the first pin or gets the guy out, that's it. So if they ring that bell and Bobby Lashley picks up Shelton Benjamin and tosses him over the rope, end of match, Bobby wins. Which the troll in me says, do it, just do it. But
they'll do the finger poke of doom.
Like, I don't know why they wouldn't, but I guess they're going to probably play up like, no, we're competitors, we'll shake hands, we'll have a good match. But
yeah, all right.
I don't care, and another belt means nothing. Kyle Fletcher.
I was going to say, it sounds. We talked about this last time. It seems like a rib at NWA. So
yeah, good for them. Keeping up here, the TNT champion Kyle Fletcher is facing Mark Briscoe. This is a no DQ match where if Briscoe loses, he is forced to join the Don Callis family, which is a big heel stable. That's too good not to have happen because Kyle Fletcher is a young up and coming superstar. The kid, I mean, he gives Randy Orton vibes all the live long day. Really good match. He can talk. Well, anyway, it's too good not to have Mark Briscoe lose and then be the guy that doesn't want to be on there. Yes. See, I already bored him to tears. Yeah, so
I'm not.
Whatever.
I swear, I'm not bored. I'm just tired.
No, but as a Mark Briscoe, he's an interesting character. He's like this kung fu hick from Delaware with a chicken farm, and great. It'll be fun. Right. And that's like your kind of like your main card, and then like there's some like go get some popcorn matches. I didn't even know this was announced. Boom and Doom, which is Big Boom, the one guy podcaster, and QT Marshall with Big Justice. I think that's the kid who does the eyebrow. Are going against Roppongi Vice, which is Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta. No one wins that match. That's stupid. I don't get it.
These all sound like names that you'd make up on your career mode in WWE.
Really, seriously. Okay. I'm going to put these next two together because this is pretty funny. Every now and again, Tony Khan has these money matches, and because he's a billionaire, you're like, wow, he must actually do this. Max Caster and Anthony Bowens are facing the Bang Bang Gang, which is Austin Gunn, Billy Gunn's son, and Juice Robinson.
Now it sounds like porn names.
Right. Versus Big Bill and Brian Keith versus the Outrunners, which are those 80s wrestlers who now wrestle exclusively in 1980s cigarette advertisement pants.
So they look like Virginia Slims. What was that?
they did Marlboro. They've done
Cools, a pack of Cools.
Yeah. So anyway, that match is for $200,000 in a 4-way tag team match. And then further down the card.
Now, I'm sorry. Is it? I mean, is it really for $200,000, or is that just what they're saying? I mean,
that's what they're saying.
Tony Khan's got the money.
He certainly does, and they've used it to fuel storylines, which is actually why I bring it up, because they've got that one stated for $200,000. Then further down the card, Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express, which is Jack Perry and Luchasaurus, are facing the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander, formerly of Impact, for $1 million trios match. Now, the storyline there is
Jurassic Express sounds like a pizza joint.
It's the dumbest name and a weird gimmick, but whatever.
All right.
But the storyline to this is that the Young Bucks have been portrayed as losing all their money, and that they have, and admittedly, it is the funniest thing I've ever seen them do. That like they started losing perks, like their entrance. They got no pyro. Then they couldn't afford the Titantron, so it was just like somebody's laptop screen with a PowerPoint. They lost their long names. So instead of Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, they literally got called out one week as, here's Matt and Nick. And like the announcer didn't even give it any emphasis. He was like, and their opponents, Matt and Nick. And like you could see them come out and they looked at him like, we don't even get that anymore. And he just looked at him, he shrugged. So they've been playing.
That sounds pretty fun. That does sound entertaining. Yeah.
Now the trick here is that the Young Bucks, as of late, have been wooed by Don Callis, saying, you guys have to join my family, my evil stable. And they're showing signs that maybe they've had it up, that they're done being heels. So I'm guessing we're going to get a turn here, and that Kenny Omega will reunite with Matt and Nick Jackson to reform the Elite, which is what AEW was founded on. And there will be some major Elite versus Don Callis to do. So yay. Oh, you know what I just noticed? No Toni Storm on this card.
I was going to ask, where's Toni Storm?
She's in the women's tag team tournament right now. She is teaming up with her wife, who's Mina, last name redacted. I forget it. It's something Japanese. But she and Toni are like real life besties, and they are a tag team. They are called the Love Bombs. They have a whole like syncopated NSYNC style dance opening. And like the women are taking this tag team tournament like super serious, and I'm all for it. It's been very entertaining. And it's not announced here, so maybe they're waiting to know who's going to be the last two or whatever. We do have a women's championship match, Chris Statlander versus Mercedes Moné for the AEW World Championship. This is an interesting one because if Mercedes loses this, that is the second time she will have faced the world champion and lost, which is not a good thing. So maybe this is where she gets that big title.
I mean, she should. I mean, she kind of has to. Again, I mean, it just goes again. Tony Khan has utterly wasted Mercedes Moné. I mean,
it's interesting that you say that because many people agree, and then he didn't say it, but other wrestlers came out and said, "Oh, it's not him. That this is Mercedes booking herself. That she has creative control and doesn't want the big belt." Which is curious. But she has 13 other belts right now. So
maybe she just wants to put over. She wants to be a good soldier and put over others, which is again, I mean, she is admittedly big fish in a relative, not a small pond, but a medium pond, and she's got, you know, at any moment she can be called. Freaking Jon Favreau can call her and say, "Look, we need you back on the set of Mandalorian," or something like that. So
we'll see. I mean, I like Chris Statlander a lot. I would love to see her continue to be champion. And the last match, there is an AEW World Tag Team Championship match between Brodito, which is the portmanteau of Bandito and Brody King. Against
Brody King, the man right now, the man.
Absolutely. And they're going against FTR. So we know them as Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, or whatever you want to call them from WWE. This is kind of a do or die match for FTR. If they don't win this championship here, it's been a waste because like they've had this big long heel turn. They've got their manager. They've been beating up legends and doing this other stuff. And no offense, I love Brody King and I love Bandito. This thrown together tag team thing was cute. It's unnecessary. Give the belts to people who need it. Let Brody King honestly go after some singles belts. They've got 50 of them. Let him go after one while his partner recuperates in Australia and, is married to Rhea Ripley.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
who doesn't need to wrestle if that's your wife.
Are we going to? Yeah. Yeah. Well, he likes it. So there you go. Also, Rhea has kind of, well, not that she needs it. She's kind of fallen out of the main event picture for a while there. So
yeah, I think they're just letting it cook little bit. Let some other gals over there do it.
Let some other, because I mean, plus I think she busted her nose again, and she's got to wear a mask. So Rhea Ripley does not need to be in every picture all the time. She can take a break and then come back the moment that music hits. People are going to go bonkers.
Oh yeah, as soon as you let them. All right, so is it time to fight?
God, what I would do for a Rhea Ripley Toni Storm match.
Yeah,
and have them both go full character. I want Toni Storm to do her character. I want Rhea Ripley to do her character and see how that would work. That would be an interesting combo.
You and I could work 12 jobs, and we might be able to afford that one seat in the front row.
I've added another job to my resume, folks. I'm ready. Let's see: bartender, radio host, sales agent, and now add paralegal. I'm actually doing some paralegal work for WRMN Morning Show sponsor Vasselli Law. So
there you go. Keep adding it till we can get that. Like, it'll be weird. You and I will have to swap who sits on each other's lap in the space, but I'm sure we'll be between Bad Bunny and third string Chicago Bull.
Yeah. And a great shout out to Jimmy Vasselli. He pays nicely, but still does not pay WWE ticket money. That's nowhere near that. Yeah,
okay, so maybe we could fill out that FAFSA. We'll see if
you can do that. All right, so Nobody 2, the sequel to the surprise Bob Odenkirk action movie, where if you're a Bob Odenkirk fan, we're talking if you saw Better Call Saul, if you saw Mr. Show, if you saw any of the have you been watching the Chit Show on TikTok or YouTube?
I can't say that I have. No.
This sleeper hit right now. I forget the name of the young man who plays it. It's this great little office sitcom that has taken off. It's like this huge thing, and it started like as little 2-minute, 3-minute shorts that kept expanding into like full episodes of things. And as the show progressed, Chit, who is this character who works he has like this little closet office with 2 other folks, and he's kind of a weird guy, and yet like really above, like as he is as dumb as Homer Simpson is dumb. I mean, Homer Simpson's show brilliant.
I have definitely seen. I've not watched any clips, but I know exactly who it is now that I see a picture. So
watch it. It is some of the most brilliant stuff, because here's the thing. Started out like these guys, they're groundlings. I think they're either groundlings or Upright Citizens Brigade. I can't remember which improv group they were in. But they started this whole thing, and it's gained so much momentum that in later episodes, these big like comedy stars are making cameos. And yes, Bob Odenkirk appears at one point, and I'm not going to tell you when or what character he is, but I was just going, oh my God, that is like the perfect way to bring Bob Odenkirk into this series. And right now, and I think Bob Odenkirk can do no wrong right now. He can do no wrong, except in your case, you weren't crazy about Nobody 2.
And again, like I want to preface this to say, like it's serendipitous that you should post that literally after the weekend where absolutely randomly my wife inundated. She wanted to watch a movie with me, and I was like, I'm never going to say no to that. And I was like, what are we going to watch? And she goes, oh, I got Nobody 2. I was like, oh, okay, because I loved the first one. I love Bob Odenkirk. I love the whole mythology of him crafting this with the director and the writers and saying, like, why can't we have an action star who's not an action star and make things gritty and real, but still have, I believe it was tangentially related to the John Wickiverse in some way, if you squint hard. I was like, okay, cool. And I've dabbled in the Wickiverse a couple of times to be like, okay, it makes sense. At least some of the.
And the moment they decide to do the crossover, I am so there.
I mean, I'm there because I have to be, but yeah. Like I said, I am here, all power to Bob Odenkirk. Let that man make all the money. This just seemed to me to be like a very by the numbers sequel that didn't need to be. It was more predictable than the first one to the degree that within the first 10 minutes, you know the whole movie. You've seen it before. There's not any real twists. There are some interesting casting choices. The big bad is Sharon Stone, whose apparently only direction was do cocaine and eat the scenery. Uh,
Yeah.
and Christopher Lloyd shows up to be Christopher Lloyd again.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not that I didn't enjoy it. It's just that, like, I thought we said so much with the first one. I'm like, I don't know what you're adding to this other than now convincing me that the family all turns out to secretly be amazing assassins.
That's the third one.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Do I think that Nobody 2 was as good as the first one? No. Was it superior? No. You know what it made? I was trying to figure out how to work this joke into my Facebook posting about it, where it's like, if Nobody is Home Alone, Nobody 2 is definitely Home Alone 2, because it's like it took the same conventions and just made it bigger.
Yeah.
You know, and Nobody, you know, Bob Odenkirk, and then they take they take that warehouse and they rig it up with all this kind of stuff. And in the second one, you know, it becomes, you know, Nobody 2, lost in, you know, New York, but not New York, whatever state they were in.
Oh, it was Wisconsin Dells without calling it Wisconsin Dells.
It felt like the Dells, yeah. And
well, in fact, if you read the trivia, the whole the guy they showed in the first commercial that promotes this Paradiseville or whatever it's called is based on the dude who did the water ski show.
The Tommy Bartlett water show. Okay,
that's
cool.
who it was based off of.
Cool. Okay,
which makes more than enough sense.
I remember going to see those as a kid. Yeah. So and then they just take an entire water park and turn it into a death trap. Right. Which also smacked a bit of, I think it was Beverly Hills Cop 3 where they did that too.
Sure.
Yeah, they were in
take your pick.
Yeah. So yes, I mean, I'm going to agree with you there. Plus, the cinematography wasn't as good. It did look it looked a tad, you know, a little low budget, cheesy action movie. But the movie won me in the very beginning with the reveal where Bob Odenkirk, and spoilers, folks, if you haven't seen it yet, like, you go to the library. That's how I saw it. I went to the library and I got the DVD there, or the Blu-ray there. But stop here, because to me, they won me in the very first shot, but this is a spoiler. Okay, so stop if you don't want to hear this. Keep going if you do. Where yet again, like in the first movie, you see Bob Odenkirk look kind of beat up, and he's talking to some agents. They're saying, "Okay, what were you doing here?" Da da da. Bob, in the first movie, Bob Odenkirk, remember, he pulls out the little can of tuna and he opens it and he pulls a little kitten out. He feeds the kitten the tuna. You're like, "Oh, that's so sweet." And in this case, there's a dog.
Yep. Yeah, no wonder.
I was like. Yep. I was like, at this point, this movie can do no wrong for me.
Right.
It can do no wrong. There's a dog, and I know the dog makes it to the end because this is the end of the movie. It always starts with the end of the movie, so I know the dog is going to be fine. So they're going, this movie can do no wrong. And for the most part, as you said, very predictable. Hit all the same beats as the first one. And I think they even said that, like but the one little bit I liked was where he's going to the cliche, well, you need to get away from me. I'm no good for you. And he's like telling the wife to leave him with the kids. And it's like, again, that whole thing. And she goes, he goes, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. And she turns around, she goes, screw you.
Yeah, there were a couple turns there.
Yeah, and I liked that was kind of nice. I thought, okay, that was good. It was like
I appreciated it. They sold it. It is funny to me how close the wife looks like Rhea Seehorn. now that they've figured out that Bob Odenkirk looks great opposite blondes. Um, what sold me, the point I enjoyed the most about the movie is that in counter to the first movie, in the first movie, he torches a mobster's money pile
Yeah.
instead of taking it, which is what all of us are screaming. Um, there's repercussions, which is what I appreciated. The movie starts with him in massive debt, needing to continue his, you know, spy ways in order
Yeah.
to pay off this
Yeah.
apparent incredible debt. And I
Which
was
made
like,
no sense to me, though. At that point, I'm going, wait a minute. But it wasn't their money. It was the Russians' money. It was like blood
they
money. It was
totally
like,
didn't explain it, but I
yeah, I
like,
didn't explain why, but right.
it's
But,
the they can't they can't stop, like this is always going to follow you. And then there was an interesting, if marginally predictable, turn that the mini boss of the movie turns out to also be in the same position, that he is indebted to
yeah.
Sharon Stone's crazy ass character.
Yeah.
Okay, like it all
Yeah.
adds up. The water park, I appreciate that they built what felt like a very authentic Wisconsin Dells-esque park that is not that great, but you gotta sell it.
And the chase down the water slide
Sure.
was just something. And they're going, okay. See, because I'm watching this movie and I'm like, it looks like low budget. See, I grew up on those movies, those low budget action movies, like SEAL Team 6 or Delta Force, or and you get some some kid from Asia in the Hong Kong cinema directed for you, or what was it? The Bollywood guys would come over and do these. So to
Yeah.
me, I mean, I was like, and it wasn't overly long. I mean, I remember going, oh, we're already getting to the part where they're rigging the water slide park to be a giant death trap. And
Get in, get out.
yeah,
Get
yeah.
it
It's
done.
like, oh, well, there we go. All right,
Got
there
this
we
in a
go.
tight 86 minutes.
Yeah.
I will say also, I think it's pretty funny that you could tell immediately that somebody called the RZA and they're like, "Hey, we're doing that movie again. You want to come back for it?" And he goes, "Only if I get to kill people in a forest."
Hey, because if I could be a
Samurai
samurai, I
in
get
the
a
forest.
katana. And it's like,
And they're
yeah,
like, sure.
yeah,
Okay.
sure.
And he kills a guy in the forest.
Yeah, do it.
Like, in apropos of nothing, I'm just watching this scene. I just turn to my wife and I go, this is what he got paid. This sequence and keeping the sword when he's done.
Yep. Yeah.
That's all they could afford. And of course, how could you? There's no way you can't love Bob Odenkirk beating a man to death with a whack-a-mole mallet.
That was pretty funny. That was
It
pretty
was.
funny.
Well,
And again, I love Bob Odenkirk. He can do no wrong right now. I mean, yes, the first movie was surprisingly convincing. He was surprisingly convincing as an action star. This one, it's like, again, it's the Die Hard 2-bit. I've seen Bruce Willis do it in the first one. If I accepted him there, I gotta be able to accept him doing it here too. That was the same thing with Bob Odenkirk, where it's like, yeah, you know what? He was really convincing in the first one, so it makes it easier for me to take it in this one.
it's just like in the first movie, that is part of the appeal and the gimmick. Once you've already expelled that surprise,
Yes.
like I said, like, what do you have left? I guess the wife turned out to be a hidden sniper. I'm just glad that she saved the husband and didn't kill Sharon Stone. But like, it's just, yeah, the way in which the whole movie worked out, it was fine. I'm happy that Bob Odenkirk got paid. I will happily await him and John Wick trading exhausted glances at one another. And then they go on to defeat. I'm assuming at this stage, is Nick Nolte still alive?
Yeah. Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, because you don't, like, it's him. Like I said with Sharon Stone, I don't think anyone handed her a script. I don't think you need to hand him one.
Warren Beatty.
Was it Gary Busey?
Nah, okay, no. I mean, because Quentin Tarantino originally wanted Warren Beatty for Kill Bill when it went to
David Carradine.
Yeah. So he wanted Warren Beatty there. And whenever I see that role, I'm like, whenever I see him or whenever I hear him reading that dialogue, I'm like, holy crap, I can totally picture Warren Beatty saying this.
I suppose I could, but man, Carradine was so good.
No, he was good.
Yeah.
But I can also see what Tarantino was going for. If you can't get Warren Beatty, David Carradine was perfect for it. Yes, he was the best, backup you need. But like
You can't get a Hershey bar. You could just go and get one Smartie.
Well,
If you want a T-bone steak, you could get an Arby's steak nugget.
Wow, so you're saying Warren Beatty's rates that much higher than David Carradine? Huh?
Yes.
Well, I think in this role though, it was something. It was
David Carradine, far as I can tell, and tell me I'm wrong here, was in Kung Fu the series.
But that's where the cachet comes from. It comes from
right.
that. Yeah.
Warren Beatty is a director and movie actor of quite a few accolades. So,
okay, you're
that's
right.
A big
right about. No, you're right about that. You're absolutely right about that.
But
in any case,
that's what Tarantino does, though. Like, he's able to take the Arby's steak nugget and make you think you're having filet mignon because he puts them.
Have you tried the steak nuggets?
God, no.
I'm just curious.
Like, of all the meats that you can nugget, steak is not one that I'm after.
Well, I'm saying.
I'm just
curious. I'm just curious.
Look, I'm as trash panda as the next guy, but like there are certain things out there that I'm like, you could take or leave that one. That being said, it's not like I haven't eyed the whatever the new Checkers burger was that I saw the other day, and I was like,
there's going to be a Grinch meal from McDonald's.
Oh yeah, I heard.
The catch to it is, first you're going to get a pair of socks,
right?
Grinch socks, and the dill pickle salt for the French fries.
Sure.
Which apparently was huge in Canada and elsewhere, is finally coming to the United States.
Makes sense. I was actually honestly surprised at the brand integration between the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie and Popeyes.
Yeah, here's my thing. Are the Five Nights at Freddy's characters supposed to be scary?
No, it's more the whole point of that is jump scares. It's not that they're scary, it's just that they set up jump scares.
Yeah, but I remember even when I saw it going, the jump scares didn't scare me because I'm like, it's a puppet coming after me.
They're just loud and annoying.
Yeah, I'm like, and the movie made a ton of money. I mean, I guess the kids love it. It's a horror movie you can take your kids to.
Yeah, that's sort of that's it. I mean, it stems from games that were built in the horror genre.
Yeah.
But it's mainly just to blow your eardrums out while a slightly dilapidated mechanical duck screams. Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying it's like if Chuck E. Cheese was possessed, but
right, which Chuck E. Cheese just by itself is terrifying. You don't need to add anything else. And for those of us who remember Showbiz Pizza, that's where it's at.
Oh, Showbiz Pizza, yeah.
Give me a monkey and a tux any day. I do not need Chuck E. Cheese.
And that we need, and that would be Hit Monkey if you're for folks keeping score at home.
That is true.
With a voice, with the voice of the ghostly hitman that accompanies the monkey, being done by Jason Sudeikis.
Worth it. So, but I'm trying to figure this out though. Five Nights at Freddy's. Freddy's is a pizzeria, and they're partnering not with Domino's, not with Pizza Hut, not with Papa John's, but with Popeyes.
It screamed Little Caesars. I remember Little Caesars did the Fantastic Four, flavor pizza. Yeah, you would think that Five Nights at Freddy's would have done a pizza place.
And I guess so the Freddy's meal that you get is chicken fingers because Popeyes, and then they have these little breaded mozzarella bites. Which every fat dude I've seen reviewing them is infinitely surprised at how good they are. Okay. And then it also comes with some kind of very wet cupcake. Which again, you put the whole thing in front of I don't I want to try the cheese sticks. Can I just order those and not have to talk about anything else? I don't need a wet cupcake. I don't.
A wet cupcake. They lick it before they give it to you.
All I'm telling you, man, is go look it up. Look
All
at
right.
the promotional picture because they put the cupcake in the same dish that you put the mashed potatoes in. And
All
it's just,
right.
why are you doing that? And then
Maybe it's like a molten lava cake or something.
like the guy I watched do the review for it. He's like, it's just like a really moist cupcake, and it has like pink icing on it. And he's like, I'm not sure if this is supposed to look like a brain, like the way it's kind of like floating. He's like, maybe that's what they're going for. And he tasted. He's like, it's really sweet. It's not for me. Whatever. Go get your cheese sticks and have a day.
All right. I'm intrigued. The cupcake though turns me off. Yeah.
Popeyes is not really a place I go for fast food dessert. So
No, I agree on that one.
and yeah, if you want to talk about inflation, the caramel apple empanada is not worth $3.
Oh, I was going to ask because I can't find it. Every time I go by the Taco Bell, they don't have it.
No, it's always that's like a decades thing or something. Again, like I don't understand when people clamor for these things. You figure why not make it for them, but oh well, we'll all suffer and get cinnamon twists. They give them away with everything.
They pretty much do. Yeah, get that
Cool.
$7 Cravers box. All right, and on that note, we're gonna call this one Nobody 2. A fun diversion. If you get the Blu-ray or your DVD at the library, trust me, it's a 90-minute. It's a Disney movie. I thought it was fun, and again, the dog. I love how
Bob Odenkirk, support dogs.
They do, and and of course, and again, spoiler, for folks if you've been this far, but they save all the dogs. Even somehow they end up with Sharon Stone's dog. And they're gonna, because so if you're worried about the dogs, don't worry, they're gonna be fine. I love that they make sure that the animals are shown to be okay at the end. I appreciate movies that do that. Just like when James Gunn said that he had Eagly starting to bond with Economos at the end of Peacemaker because he didn't want people to worry about Eagly knowing what was going to happen to Chris. So
that makes sense. We will slap girls in the back of the head for being uppity in movies, but we will not touch the pets.
No, you don't do that. No,
right.
You don't do that. Although, mind you, if you slap the girl in the back of the head, Dad's going to come back and
kill you with a whack-a-mole.
Yeah, really. Put your head through a pinball machine.
Yep.
Yeah.
About the only thing I don't think he nerfed anybody with a skee ball.
Oh, the fight on the dock. Oh, that was the other thing too. Remember what you're saying that had to be Wisconsin Dells because the says we're going on the docks. But he goes, this isn't really a duck. He goes, no, that looks like a boat. It's like ducks were amphibious device. I mean, and I remember because my dad took me on the ducks in the Dells when I was a kid. I would always go on the duck. So I was like, oh, they're going to have a duck. Oh, that's not a duck. He said the exact same thing I said. This isn't a duck.
Nope.
And that they pretty much redid the fight from the bus in the first one on the boat in the second. But instead of going for the, holy crap, this guy can really kick some ass, we didn't realize it. It's the whole, okay, we know he can kick some ass, but can he kick some ass without letting anybody around him, the driver and the
it has a very much a, but now it's on a boat. Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, there we go. And it was played for yucks. It was played for the yucks more than it was for the visceral, boom.
Yeah, again, they gave it away. So tune in next time for Nobody 3 when he fights 18 bad guys on a 2-person helicopter.
Oh, that he did the Captain America elevator fight.
That too.
And they're going.
They're running out of fun, interesting places for him to have a fight. Maybe he just they need to do it. Remember the Wanted, the ruined movie from a very good comic series? He needs to fight in an office building next. That's like he has to. Now he has to be like an insurance claims adjuster.
Wait, we've done it's like the Die Hard movies. We've done the Home Alone movies. We've done a booby-trapped warehouse, booby-trapped
water park.
Theme park. We got to go Moonraker on this one.
Yeah. Straight
International Space Station.
Anti-gravity fights. I'm here.
Nobody in space. In space, nobody can hear you get your butt kicked.
I can hear Bob Odenkirk doing the promotion already, saying, we were in that vomit comet for like 42 takes, and I just hated all of it. But, my commitment to the craft, and really David Cross coming in for the villain this time, we knew that we could get him for a song and a dance, and who knew that all I had to do was sing and dance a little.
Can I tell you something? You say that as a joke, but
I'm manifesting, Elliott. I'm manifesting.
Oh, hell no. But Bryan Cranston. Let's do a Breaking Bad reunion.
Anytime, any place. Make it happen.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging with us to this point. We're going to call this a show. Thank you, Mark, yet again. And thanks to all the little ones who made cameos in the background there. It was really cute seeing them. Hopefully next week, there'll be more news around the worlds of sports, entertainment. But until then, for Mark Allen Fishman, I'm Elliott Serrano. This has been the Torn Quadcast on WRMN Radio. Thanks so much for being with us, and enjoy your week. Get geeky, folks.